What's up, everyone? My name is John Shiloh. Just wanted to shoot this video this week, reach out to you, and talk about starting an online business, doing some online marketing, network marketing with Empower Network. I've been in the Power Network for about 30 days now, actually over 30 days. Just come up upon my first month. I'm going strong, blogging every day on the Empower Network blog that I have. You can find it always at johnshiloh.com. That'll redirect it to my blog. That is johnshiloh.com. And just wanted to reach out to you today, talk about online marketing. And one of the things you got to do is you got to give the customer what they're looking for. Early today, after I left the house, my dog apparently tore up the couch a little bit and also destroyed one of our CDs in the house, or actually DVDs, for the movie Panic Room. I'm disappointed in my dog. She was a bad girl, and I thought I was over this because for the most part I've been kindling her. My roommate was home, so I thought I could leave her by herself. But with customers, just like with customers, if you leave them unattended, they'll get bored and they'll start playing with other things. Even if you want them to play with a certain toy, you have to continue to get their attention. You have to direct their attention to what you want them to do. So I made that mistake. So I feel there's a lesson that can be learned to really direct your customers to the content that you want them to see. That means also putting out the best content, things that they really, really want to see and learn and be involved with. The Power Network is a very strong product, but if you don't address it in a certain way, you don't get your customers' attention in a certain way that meets their needs, where you show them the benefits, they're going to ignore it, or they're just going to blow it off and try to play with something else. There's countless different marketing systems out there, affiliate products, things that have, not too bad of commissions, even though most of what you see out there has little weenie commissions. So the Empower Network has all these benefits, but you really have to drive them home if you're going to market and promote and talk to people about the Empower Network products. And I think that's actually one area where I need to improve myself. I need to better address what you as a customer are really looking for. So what are you looking for as a customer? Or what would your customers be looking for? Well, and when it comes to marketing and online businesses and stay-at-home or work-at-home businesses, when you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to focus on what those people want. What do entrepreneurs want the most? They probably want money, as all of us do. So talking about the 100% commissions that the Empower Network offers is one area to start off in. But we need to really drive home what those commissions can do for someone. When you have money, lots and lots of money, it gives you the financial freedom to really do whatever you want to do. You can buy what you want at any time. And if you could go into, let's say, a mall, your local mall, it doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be the best mall or the biggest mall in America. It just has to be a mall with items and stores. And when you walk into that mall, if you had the power at any moment to know that you could buy anything in that mall, no matter what item it is, wouldn't you like to have that power? Wouldn't your customers like to have that power? I truly think they would, and I know you would, and I want to have that. So one of the things I've actually done recently is I started a dream board on Pinterest. Pinterest.com is a big site that is actually driving traffic to a lot of different websites out there. Not to every website, because you really have to fit in with the the style of Pinterest. But I started a dream board on there, starting to post different things that I want in my life. Whether it's traveling to some exotic place like, let's say, Belize. That's one of my places I want to go to, is traveling to Belize. To get a Rolls Royce vehicle, a Rolls Royce car, whatever the top line is, get one of those cars. Because that is a greatly made car. It has wealth all written over it. And when you drive that car, people are going to know you're filthy rich. And then other things I've been posting there. I want to get a new Cadillac. I already drive a Cadillac. It's the first model of the CTS 2003. But I'd like to upgrade. I'd like to have the money to do that and be able to walk into that dealership and throw down some cash without having to get a loan. Wouldn't you like to not put up with the hassle of a car salesman trying to steer you to buy a certain car? See, because that's what I've gone when I go to dealerships sometimes, wanting to buy a new car. They either say you don't qualify, or they say your credit isn't as good as it should be, even though you really know it is better. They try to play that cat and mouse game, trying to chase you around, trying to get you to buy whatever makes them the most money. But it shouldn't be like that. You should be able to walk in to anywhere you want. That's the dream lifestyle that you have to go for, that you have to get your customers to go for and to feel and to want. And they have to want it really bad. So you have to motivate them to do these sort of things. So you really have to break it down and start relating to your customers, knowing what your customers want, what type of possessions they want in their life, whether it's material or something spiritual even, or emotional. Maybe they want to have a lasting relationship and get married. And if that's it, you need to relate to that. So you have to actually touch them on so many levels, both on the physical and material level, as well as the emotional and spiritual level. And you have to do this without any hesitation, without any kind of coerciveness. You have to influence them, but you have to do it subtly. So one of the best ways I know to really target your customers, and this is a technique that I learned many years ago, and honestly, I kind of forgot where I learned it from. It may have been from one of the online marketing gurus by the name of Eben Pagan, also known as, forget his name, but either way, Eben Pagan does a lot of stuff online, both for marketing niches and also his own dating niche, and maybe something else that I don't even know about. Because the guy's making like $20 million a month or a year or something, and he has like a full-time staff working for him. But one of the things that I believe I learned from him, and probably was one of his free videos, is that you need to learn who your customer is. And the best way to do that is to break it down. Start writing down exactly what your customers want. And one of the best ways to figure out what your customers want is to put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, what would I want the most? And when it comes to the online marketing niche, or the online business niche, or the becoming an entrepreneur niche, you just have to ask yourself, what do you really want from life? You want money. You want to have a nice house. You want to be able to travel and buy things at your convenience whenever you want to. So you really have to communicate to those people in that way. And that's really the best way to attract people to your online business. And you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent with your message, with putting out your content on a regular schedule, people are going to forget about you. Even if they like you in one video or like one of your blog posts, if you don't put out content regularly, they're just going to forget about you. So you always have to stay in contact with the different social media channels, with your website, with your blog, with your YouTube channel. You just have to be consistent. And when you're consistent, it will eventually get you results as long as you're targeting them in the way they need to be spoken to. So go ahead and try that. Write down what your target customer, what your most ideal customer wants from you. Write it down. Write down what they want, and even write down what they don't want. And that way, if you know what they don't want, you'll leave that off your list. You'll leave that out of your ad copy, out of your video, and you'll focus only on the things that they need and what they want for their life, for their dream lifestyle, and for their online business. So go ahead and do that. Jot it down and create a customer profile that gives you your ideal customer. You'll want to know a few things. You want to know some demographic information, such as the ideal age of your customer. Yeah, you might have customers all over the spectrum, different ages, but you want to find the ideal range. Is he young? Is he old? Is she young? Is she old? Is it going to be a guy? Is it going to be a girl? Yeah, you might have female customers, you might have male customers, but what is your customer most likely going to be? And you have to create a profile. You can also create profiles based on their gender. So you can target guys and girls, and you can find out what they want the most, each of the different genders. So when you do that, you're going to split it up and be able to talk to them in a different way. Because women tend to communicate in a different way, and they also hear in a different way. They might pick up on more subtle things like the clothes you're wearing, the way you look, the way you groom yourself, especially if you're doing a video, putting on a seminar of some sort, or doing a webinar where they're going to see you face to face, whether it's online or in person even. So you have to know what they're going to pick up on compared to maybe a guy in the same demographic, whether they're, someone in the middle class, or if they're white collar, or if they're living on the edge of poverty and have little money, but they still want to make a better life for themselves. So you have to know all these different things. And the great thing is you can start building different customer profiles for different likes and dislikes, different genders, different age groups, and target those. It doesn't, when you first create your first customer profile, it doesn't need to be hard and fast. It doesn't need to be this and only this. You can leave room for improvement, and you can always change it. You can scratch things out, delete it from your list. You just have to have an idea of who you're talking to. And then as you're doing your profile of your customer, you can write your ad copy, you can shoot your videos, and see what's working and see what's not. If you're talking about a certain thing and it's not appealing to that age group, you might be saying it in the wrong way, or you might have assumed the wrong thing about that customer. So you really need to understand your customer, and this is only an exercise to help you dig down and think like your customer would think and feel like your customer feels and want what your customer wants. That's very important. So I'm going to leave you on that note. Just go ahead and do this little exercise. Write a list of what they're like, what they want, what they don't want, and be as specific as you can if you can get to that point. Otherwise, a broad customer profile is all right to start, but always narrow that down once you have something in place. So I hope you have a good day. And also, make sure you visit johnshiloh.com. That's JOHNSHILOH.com. JohnShiloh.com. Hope you have a great day, a great week, and let's go out there and make some extra income to put in our banks.